Hello and welcome to DESC's virtual groundbreaking for Green Lake Supportive Housing. I'm Sandra Nielsen, DESC's Director of Facilities and Property Development. I have the exciting pleasure of bringing you our 14th DESC Permanent Supportive Housing project. This project is truly one of our most unique and exciting buildings in our portfolio. I take a moment to sit down with DESC's Executive Director, Daniel Malone, to talk about all of the exciting aspects of this project and what DESC has been doing lately. And then we're going to learn all about what the support in permanent supportive housing really means. But first, I sit down with Arlen Collins, Sustainable Living Innovations CEO. We talk about all of the innovative and interesting features of the DESC Green Lake project. I have the exciting opportunity to sit down with Arlen Collins. He is the CEO of Sustainable Living Innovations, SLI, and we're going to be talking about the Green Lake project.
Fantastic.
Could you describe for us what exactly the Green Lake building is?
Sure. So what we are is a building technology company, and for the last 12 and a half years we've been working on a way to build a building in a different way. But also build a different building in terms of the way the energy works, in terms of the way the operations of that building work, the technology that's embedded in it. There's a lot of different approaches to the world of prefabrication and off-site construction. Modular is a word that you hear a lot, and modular in general, at least to us, means three-dimensional. You build boxes. We coined a phrase early on in the life of SLI: build parts, not space. Because you could get less cost. There's a lot more you can do with parts than you can do if you've got to build an entire room or module.
In a traditional build, you kind of bring all the materials on site and then you erect on site. Right. In this model, the wall and floor panels are built in a factory in Tacoma and then come to the site and are put together on site. Talk about what opportunity that affords us for the actual duration of the assembly of the building.
So we're pretty excited about Tacoma. Tacoma showed us that we can build 10 panels a day with a line, and we can do that with 10 or 12 people. So essentially we can do a panel in 10 hours, and 10 panels make an apartment. So by the time we put 5 lines in Tacoma, we can build 5 apartments a day. And the cost of the labor to finish that apartment in the field is 80 or so hours. So if you do the math, we're drastically less hours from every trade in the field and in the factory than a traditional build.
Let's talk about all of the awesome energy efficiency features that the DESC Green Lake building will have.
Yeah, it's a lot actually. So SLI uses 70% less energy and half the water of a traditional building. The solar on the roof is something we're really excited about. We want to pick off if we're 70% less energy and we're half the water. We take hydronic heating, which is hot water. And if you combined the heat load with the domestic hot water load in a building such as yours, that's about 80% of the total energy in the building. And if they can be in the same system, that opens up lots of opportunities to do in-building recycling. And so we will collect the shower water and the washing machine water and the bathroom lav, and we'll bring it down into the basement, and we'll pull all the heat out of that water, and we'll put it back in the hot water tank. So it never leaves the building. Once we make hot water, it stays in the building. Then we'll take the water, we'll clean it up, and we'll run it back up in the building. And your team will be flushing toilets with it, doing laundry with it, potentially and irrigating landscaping with it. So that's kind of our approach to the energy and water problem. And we're pretty excited about our performance when measured against traditional construction.
Tell me about SLI Connect, because frankly that is the thing I am most excited about. Talk about how SLI Connect is really integrated from the traditional mechanical systems to other types of systems like data, phones, things of that nature.
As we began our journey on technology, the first thing we thought of was, can we converge all of these systems, the security system, the fire alarm system, the smoke alarm system? Can we make that real-time data? You're going to be able to see things happening in your building that are going to create tremendous efficiencies and lower costs and provide better service to the people who live there.
I think all of this leads us to the most exciting part is that we are going to house 124 people that are currently homeless and experiencing homelessness. How has that motivated you as a company?
My partner and I kind of have a belief system that if all our technology ever did was help solve the homeless problem, it would have been enough. We think that the fact that we're going to be able to help do this and help these individuals in our community that struggle is really a big piece of what we're out to do.
Well, thank you so much, Arlen, for taking the time to sit down and talk with me. We're super excited to be partnering with you to deliver these 124 units, and we can't wait for the day that we can go tour the unit and do our grand opening in person.
Well, I can't wait for the day to see the look on the person's face that walks into one of our units when they realize that's where they get to live. We are counting the days. Sandra, we're counting the days.
Let me introduce for everyone that doesn't know you. This is Daniel Malone, DESC's Executive Director, and we'd like to, talk through some things and spend some time thinking about DESC Green Lake and all other DESC things.
It's exciting to be here.
It is. After being at DESC for just about 10 years, I know what permanent supportive housing is, but I love to hear the way that you explain it.
Okay, well, I guess I would start by saying it's the most important thing that we do at DESC. Permanent supportive housing is, for the most part, apartment living, but brings to that a really robust array of help to the people who live there to make sure they can be successful. The folks that we create this for have disabilities, usually pretty profound disabilities that they need some level of help for, some accommodation for, and people just can't overcome the challenges from that when their lives are totally unstable. It does allow people to have that kind of base that everybody needs to be successful and that our clients really haven't had.
Talk a little bit about how DESC defines housing first.
It really goes to that fundamental belief that everybody needs and deserves a stable place to live. When you don't put all these conditions on people, people are very eager to take advantage of help because it's oriented toward what their goals are. When we create this supportive housing, what are some of the key components of a building that we need to have that might not be obvious to people who don't do this work?
Each of our buildings has a few thousand square feet that has offices for case managers. It has discrete spaces for people to meet with clients. We have a reception area that is typically located close to the entrance. That's a place where residents know that they can get services and support, and there's always somebody there. Staff do daily check-ins with folks. And how they do that daily check-in is an intercom unit in the unit that allows for staff to communicate with the resident and the resident to communicate back without the resident having to pick up a phone or press any buttons. That is both a communication tool and a security tool. Our Green Lake building will be like Hobson, that it will have solar and is going to have trackers so that we can see if there's high water usage, we can see if there's high energy usage. And that isn't about monitoring, it's about providing support and understanding that if there are dangerous or unsafe things happening in the unit, we can engage through alert systems. For anyone that owns and operates permanent supportive housing, drywall when it gets wet is just it's not pretty. And the SLI building, not only through the connectivity of the system, it doesn't have any drywall.
What's it made out of?
All of the floor panels, the ceiling and wall panels are metal. The way that the SLI panels are constructed allows for there to be concealed in the wall a covering on top that feels very modern and is very aesthetically pleasing and makes it look like a very, modern apartment.
Yeah. It uses way less energy overall, but it achieves a very comfortable environment without using significant fossil fuels, and is a healthy environment.
With our clients, it's very important for fresh air exchange and a high volume of fresh air exchange. For, look at the COVID pandemic and other things. Our world has changed, and the need for fresh air spaces is even more important now than it was in the past.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the future. What is next?
We have ramped up, as you well know, the sort of rate at which we're trying to produce supportive housing, because the need is so great, and
it really is.
It's ultimately the thing that we're here for. That's why we exist, is to produce things that will fundamentally alter the trajectory of the lives of the people that we're concerned about.
Beyond housing, what's the news at DESC?
Well, we're doing this really cool health clinic where DESC, as the behavioral healthcare provider, will partner with Harborview Medical Center to do a new kind of integrated clinic that addresses the physical healthcare needs and the behavioral healthcare needs of people who often miss out on getting either one of those types of needs met at the clinic at Hobson Place. And so I think that's extremely exciting. And then, some of the other stuff we're doing at DESC involves a lot of our crisis response work.
Yes.
And a lot of that is out in the field. It's outreach, it's crisis response, it's crisis follow-up. So we certainly have a lot more going on that front.
The COVID pandemic marked a pivotal time for us, where the main shelter where you first started working was vacant for the first time in well over
40 years.
40 years? 40 years?
Well, and the reason it was vacant, of course, is because we got a better place to do that work in. We got an empty hotel. So it was the, one kind of gift or silver lining from the pandemic is that it created an opportunity to do things a lot better than we had been able to do for those 40 years. People get the benefits of having those individual rooms and privacy, and we can really connect with them in much more meaningful ways. Still not housing that we expect to have for everybody, but will be just tremendously better than what we've mostly had over the years. And so it's just wonderful to know that we now are at this place of making that change, and it's going to last.
I agree.
Well, thanks for talking with me.
Thanks for talking with me.
That's a wrap.
Welcome to the project site. We are moments away from that magic moment where we put the shovels in the ground. But first, let's take a moment to thank some key funders that really make building this housing possible. From the Washington State Housing Finance Commission, Bob Peterson.
Hello, I'm Bob Peterson with the Washington State Housing Finance Division. I'm a manager in the Multifamily Housing and Community Facilities Division. Congratulations to DESC, Daniel Malone, the Executive Director, your board and your staff for breaking ground on your new Green Lake project. Your service to individuals most at risk for housing and service who are homeless is admirable. This great PSH project to be built in Green Lake is bringing services out to the community where people live. The commission, which is led by Bill Rump, our board chair, Steve Walker, our executive director, and the staff of the commission, wish you good luck and look forward to this project opening its doors. Again, the commission congratulates you and thanks the folks at DESC for this wonderful project.
DESC values our longstanding partnership with tax credit syndicator Enterprise. And here is Chris Walvard.
Hi everyone, I'm Chris Walvard and I'm a senior underwriter with Enterprise Community Investments. And I want to say a huge congrats to DESC on its Green Lake virtual groundbreaking. Enterprise is investing over $19 million in this community by purchasing the housing tax credits. And we are so excited to have reached this point. I want to thank Sandra Nielsen and Julie Nordgren with DESC and Javon Ledevice with Bellwether Housing for all their hard work and dedication to getting us to closing. Sandra, Julie, and Javon were so great to work with. They were really the heart of the development team from my perspective. This will be the sixth DESC investment that I've worked on personally, the first being Canada House back in 2009. In total, Enterprise has invested over $130 million across 11 DESC communities, which just goes to show how tremendously important this relationship is for us. We are making these types of investments all over the country. We've invested a total of $17 billion over our history, and that includes 2,600 developments across all 50 states, DC, and Puerto Rico. That's over 180,000 homes created or preserved that people can afford. We want to make more of these types of investments with DESC in the future, as there is still a lot of work to do. Thanks again, and congrats to DESC.
Amazing projects like this would not be possible without the support of our many sponsors, especially the City of Seattle. And now, Mayor Bruce Harrell.
Hello, this is Mayor Bruce Harrell for the City of Seattle, and I'm extremely excited to be with you, virtually at least, to celebrate the groundbreaking of DESC's Green Lake project. I would love to say that the City of Seattle is enjoying our role as being a partner, but that would be a disservice in that you all are just doing phenomenal work. To say we're a partner would overstate our role. You are leading, you are committed, you are providing the kind of services that really move the needle in this great city of ours. These are the kinds of projects we need. These are the kinds of projects we need to invest in. It's great to see real progress in what we know is a critical part of the work to address homelessness. That's why the city's strategic investments include projects like this, and particularly in the Green Lake area. The Office of Housing is doing great work as well to expand the production of permanent supportive housing, because we know this is the key to address homelessness. Proceeds from the voter-approved Seattle Housing Levy are invested in this project, and we want to thank the voters of Seattle, the investors in Seattle who have been supportive of this project as well. So thanks to Seattle voters and their support, we're making real, measurable, tangible change and improvement. We're helping lives. So this effort includes a new approach to construction, and we're also eager to learn more about the sustainability outcomes, life cycle operational savings, durability, and how this can be repeated. That's the beauty of the DESC's projects. They are replicated and they are changing many lives throughout our entire city. So congratulations to DESC on this important developmental milestone, and I certainly look forward to coming to the opening in person. Thank you very much. One Seattle.
DESC's logo is a key. It's symbolic of opening doors to end homelessness, but handing a key to the resident isn't the end of the story. It's all of the services that we bring to the client to make sure that they are stable and happy and healthy in their home. Let's go to Rainier House, where we meet the permanent supportive housing team providing those wraparound services to help clients be stable, healthy, and housed.
My name is Charlene Shelley.
My name is Michelle Haug.
Andrew Olstrom.
Ayana Cole.
Ernie Toby.
My name is Ronita. Everyone calls me Ronnie.
I am the project manager here at Rainier House. I move people in, I move people out. I oversee the major general operations of the building, from facilities to janitorial staff, programming, hiring staff here. Wear a few different hats.
My position at DESC is a housing project coordinator. I do a lot of things behind the scenes in an administrative piece. Move-ins, move-outs. I handle any sort of legal issues that may occur. I also do a lot of work orders that help to maintain the building itself.
I'm a clinical support specialist. My responsibilities are doing case management, working on behavioral health issues, and basically overall ensuring that clients can maintain their housing as much as possible. I think what motivates me the most to do my job is being able to just even talk to just one client, something that's going to be able to help them with their finances so they can make it through the month, or something that's going to be able to change their outlook about the week or even just for the day.
I'm proud of my staff because they communicate. They listen, they talk, they speak up, they ask questions. Those are some things that I think people on the outside, just out in the community or even within DESC, don't necessarily see or know.
My position is Housing Stabilization Specialist. The Housing Stabilization position was created to help case managers address issues that they have trouble addressing with a full caseload. So folks that are repeatedly failing inspections, need help with ADLs, and I'm also doing caregiving management. Helping clients with accessibility issues is really important. As a disabled person myself, I think I can meet my clients where they're at a little bit better when they tell me that something is not accessible for them. And that's not necessarily in the job description, but it's something that I think is needed.
I'm the janitor, full-time janitor here. I was hired to try to put the building back in shape, try to get it to where it meets all standards of when they first opened the place. Yeah, the clients, a lot of them tell me how much they appreciate all the work that I do, which is cool. I actually can't wait for the weekend to be over. I can't wait to get back here.
I am the residential counselor supervisor. I make sure that our counselors understand the mission of DESC. I implement any policies and procedures. I'm a coach, I'm a trainer, I'm a ear to listen. Sometimes people are going through things.
They help me with talking one-on-one about different issues. They remind me that I'm a person and not a piece of garbage. They treat you with respect. And you don't get that when you're out there homeless. If it wasn't for Rainier House in DSC, I would not be here today. I would not be alive today. Rainier House gave me life back.
Let's take a trip over to 8610 Aurora Avenue North to put that shovel in the ground.
Here we are at 8610 Aurora Avenue North for DESC's latest groundbreaking. We're building a super cool building for permanent supportive housing, and we're ready to get going.
Thank you so much for participating in another DESC virtual groundbreaking event. We can't wait for the day when these can be back in person. Thank you to the property development team that makes this all possible. Julie Nordgren, Ann Neely, Kim Wee, Reagan Farnsworth, and all the other amazing staff at DESC that contribute to our property development team. Special thank you to Jovan Lodovice at Bellwether, who was our financing expert and guru for this unique project, who pulled together amazing financing pro formas to make sure that we got where we needed to go. Thank you for being with us here today as we celebrate DESC Green Lake, our 14th and most innovative project.